Well, we're kind of interchangeable because Katarina and I are the behavioural insights team in Office of the Great Barrier Reef and World Heritage. We, kind of, I actually haven't been through this presentation. I'm subbing in at the last minute, so I'm just going to say that don't pay too much attention to the slides because sorry. So yeah, I'm just going to make stuff up. I know what the gist of the presentation was meant to be. Our job over the last many years has been to develop up a Human Dimensions program to report against the Human Dimensions target under the Queensland Reef Water Quality Plan. So our focus under the plan is really on the agricultural sector as the biggest contributor of pollutants and impact on water quality. We've been running a survey under the Paddock to Reef program for 5-6 years now. Our focus has been on trying to understand the perceptions of landholders around making land management decisions and adopting improved farming practices. So obviously everything that we do is trying to understand what are the barriers, motivators, what are the sort of points that we can touch on to help to accelerate practice change in the agricultural sector. As a result of this, we've now got about 5 or 6 years of data from our social monitoring and perceptions of practices surveys. So these survey tools are actually delivered on our behalf by the extension professionals out there who are delivering the on-ground practice change projects funded under the Queensland Government and Australian Government investment. And what that's given us is an incredible amount of insight into what is driving or what are the impediments to practice change across the grazing, cane, banana. We have a small amount of data for horticulture. Shout out to Michelle if she's here. She might not be in the room. And also grains. Did I miss a commodity? That's everything. Predominantly from grazing and cane, obviously, is the biggest land use areas. And what we've been focused on for the last few years has really been on how to apply those insights really at a project level. So as we've been growing the data set, really the greatest influence we've been able to have is at that project scale. So we actually deliver reports and briefings back to the projects that are delivering or collecting the data for us so that we can actually influence the adaptive management of these projects in real time so that we can see if this is something that you could actually influence. But what we've been aiming towards is obviously once we've got a decent data set coverage of all of the sectors and all of the regions, it's a really valuable tool for decision making. So our other job is to influence upwards. So the last couple of years, well, probably more recently, we've been working under the Reef Catchments Science Partnership with UQ, with Tracy Schultz, Angela Dean, and Robin Gulliver, who presented earlier. They've been helping us to build some PowerBI dashboards so that we can actually present all of our wealth of data in a manner that's user-friendly. Our end user that we're speaking to is our internal decision makers. So we're currently going into a new program design phase. We've got a new water quality improvement plan that will be released by the end of the year, or catchment strategy. It has a new name and a new focus. And our intention is that all of these amazing insights that we've gathered can actually be taken into consideration alongside the biophysical data that we've been collecting and all of the amazing information that comes out of the scientific consensus statement, the spatial management prioritisation, so that we understand the people that we're working with a bit better. 30 seconds. I think this is the last slide. So yeah, I guess that is just speaking to what I've been talking about, that we're doing the behavioural science, we're turning it into really whiz-bang cool tools that people can interact with and that can present the data in ways that can be actually applied to those decisions to influence environmental management on the ground. And we'll also be helping tomorrow at the workshop with Tracy and the gang, and we'll go through some of our survey tools a little bit more and some of the publicly available data that's already there, but just not quite being accessed or used as we'd like it to be. Thank you.